Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So let's start with your introduction, please.
With my introduction, so like,
Yes.
what exactly should I say? As in,
What
let's
is
just kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like about my introduction. So I am right now. I have been. My name is Shubhra, and I have been doing it since last, I guess, 9+ years. Professionally, I guess I took it 6 years back. And I wanted to. I mean, I didn't really started kind of doing it because of money and all. It was just some people wanted the help, and I did that. I monetized it. Now I do make a hefty sum. When I say hefty sum, like a proper hefty sum, I have taken it professionally as an not like a side business right now, but like a proper main business. And
Yeah.
I travel a lot because of that as well. So it just involves a lot of traveling, and I love what I do actually. Yeah, I mean, I just don't do tarot. I do base professionally, like specifically, I do astrology, tarot, and numerology. But apart from that, I do astrocartography and everything. Like everything that you name, I have been doing it or somehow also monetizing it. I run my personal brand as well. It just started a month back. Astro, if you have seen, and we have the website building up. I am also building a website community for people, so I'm going to be hiring the tarot readers, astrologers, everyone. My team
Okay.
is looking after that.
Okay. Like the
Yeah.
Astro Talk app and everything.
Yeah, yes, apparently, yes. Because when I started, obviously, I started with the like normal people here in UK. Specific, I mean, I started back in India, but it grew in UK. People are very much into all these things. So I guess I started from a very small base, and now I have like thousands of people. So I have to look after everyone. It's not humanly possible. I
Yeah.
wake up to more than 1,000 messages every day.
Yeah.
My Insta is not that. I mean, I don't really use it such. Most of my clients are on WhatsApp community. So I woke up to those messages. I do want to grow my Insta anyway as well. I want people to know more about it. That's why. But that's why I'm building the entire app and the website so that more people first thing can make tarot as their main business or their main money earning as in freelancing,
Yeah.
and it can spread. And there are a lot of people need help. So yes, for that.
After listening to you, I really feel really lucky and grateful that you replied to me. You agreed to spare your time and spend some time with me. I really do feel blessed. Thank you so much for that. That and please, if
Welcome.
you do launch that app, do consider me as well for the
Of
readings.
course, I'll definitely ask my team for sure.
Yeah.
We can do more works like that any.
Please, even today I gave an interview on Divine Talk, so I am looking forward to such a platform where I can work.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You know, while I was growing up, astrology was not such a thing. Astrology as a business, if I told my parents 5, 10 years, 5, 6 years back that I want to do tarot and astrology as a main business, and and living, you know, like paying like 70, 80,000 per month for my flat and for my everything here, like it takes up to lakhs here, and making this as an living and also making fortunes with that and all. I'm not bragging, just telling you, it would not have, like, everybody would have considered it, is she kidding or is she even serious about her life, what is she doing? I did
Yeah.
started very small, everyone did. And I obviously, one thing that I should have done is I should have kind of let it spread on Instagram more. I have more base in UK and USA than Indians actually. So my clients are me businessmen in UK and US rather than in India. In India, I'm still spreading, like I'm working with that as well. Not don't have, but I mean, I started from India. People in India don't know about Vedic astrology. Believe me, and people here trust about it. Everything, they are ready to give you millions just for one reading of Vedic astrology. And Vedic astrology is a very huge topic. So
Okay.
I specifically want to spread Vedic astrology because it's science along with tarot and everything, obviously.
Yeah. I think that even the spell casting and all, eventually everything started in India with the Atharved and with all that tantra and everything. I think the spell casting eventually started in India. The origin is in India, and then it spread across the world, and now it is followed in different ways in different parts of the world. Uh, Anyways, how did you come up with this name, Moon Witch?
It's Moon Astro now, basically. So Moon
Okay.
which is a very good term, by and which basically refers to as someone who can manipulate energies.
Yeah.
But coming here, I did realize that people do get off, like it's more of an offensive one or a word here, which because of the tails and everything, right? So I turned it to Astro because I do want, like, astrology is something that not everyone does as such, and I want to kind of spread it, Vedic astrology specifically. So I took the term Moon Astro, but I guess Moon is because I am Moon ruled. I'm a major Cancerian sign.
Oh,
Like
oh
most of
my
my planets are
God.
in Cancer.
High five. I'm also a Cancerian and oh my God. Okay. That's why.
So yeah, and I'm major Moon ruled. So I
Yeah.
love the Moon anyway. I'm philic. So Moon for
Same.
that, and which like it because I wanted to manipulate energy, and I had always been that rebel, even in my family and all, in a very positive way, not like going against something, but just breaking the age-old customs and
Yeah,
everything.
I understand.
So I just want that's why. But
Uh,
I do feel like it has turned into Astro now, and
yeah.
even Astro Monk from the same numerologically, it's very important for me as well. I'm a very five ruled person, Mercury ruled, so that's why that's the name Astro Monk. Okay.
Okay, so like, what's your forte? Like, spirituality is a very huge term. So, what's your forte?
Mm-hmm. So, basically, specifically, if I'll say, predominantly, I started with having visions and everything, and I did realize that there's something much beyond that. I started with Bhagavad Gita, basically being my base of starting
Yeah,
spirituality. I
yeah.
was, I guess, 18 years old, and I started reading it. Now I'm 22, so 11 years back I started reading it, and I was very moved and everything. Then I landed up in astrology and tarot. I have been practicing astrology since like 9 years now, but people think astrology is more about those zodiac signs and all, and they talk, excuse my language, but they do talk this shit about like I am a Leo, so I have this and I am that. It's not like that. Cancerian are the crybabies. No, it's
Yeah,
not like that.
Cancerians
You
have
got
that image, the crybaby image. I don't know why. I think only that
yeah,
part
and
is
it's
true.
more
I think that part is true only to the extent when you call them babies, because one thing that I found common in all the Cancerians is their baby face. I don't know why, but they really have this baby face. You cannot make out about their age when you see them. They really look very young, means younger than their actual age always. But the crying part, I don't agree to that.
true, exactly. Exactly. Now the thing is that so Cancerian sunshine, I mean, sunshine is the last thing that we count actually, as in terms of astrology. The Western astrology plays very strong importance to your rising sign, while the Vedic astrology plays very strong importance to your moon sign and then the rising sign. So sun sign is not as much counted, to be honest. Another thing that I've seen is that your sun sign is just how the way you think. Your moon is how you feel, and your rising is how people perceive you. So, what they actually perceive you is your rising sign, and it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a Cancer.
Yeah.
That is one of the myths that I've seen in people, that, oh, astrology, is it about the just zodiac? Zodiacs does not play any, and then I won't say any role, but it's not even 0.001% of astrology. Astrology is very huge. It can predict the next day that you're going to have, basically.
Yeah, I totally agree to it.
Yeah.
So, do you do spell casting too?
So about spell casting, I don't actually. Not really a lot. I just started. I don't. I mean, year back, if you would have asked me, I didn't believe in it as such. I'm not saying that people don't do it. I as a person wouldn't really would prefer doing astrology and numerology and tarot rather than doing
Yeah,
cast
it's such a wide
all these
field.
casting.
You have to choose where you have to go. You cannot go into everything. So, do you work with deities as well?
Exactly. Yeah, I do. I
Will
do.
you mind
The thing
naming
is
them?
about what? Sorry.
Do you work with deities?
Yeah. Yes. So first thing very strongly. I mean, ever since you are born, you always feel a certain vicinity with a certain type of energy, right? Like some people are.
I can
So some
relate
people are
on
very.
some other level with you. Yeah, please go on. So
Yeah.
sorry for
So some
interrupting.
people are. No, no, it's okay. So some people are very much into power-driven deities, like you know I specifically, why I said the very first thing as power driven, because I connect very strongly to goddess Kali, basically, and the Rudra form of Shiva,
Oh my
and this is
God.
the first thing that I do.
I mean, this is
And
so unbelievable. We have so much in common. I work with Goddess Kali, not exactly as Goddess Kali, but her, Greek form, Goddess Hecate. Very few people say this out loud, but yes, Goddess Hecate and Goddess Kali are the same. And Goddess Hecate is somewhat of a mixture of Goddess Kali and Lord Shiva. She's a mixture of both. I
hmm,
even have her tattoo on my hand, and
wow,
and oh my God, I could relate to you so much. Like you said that since you are born, you feel that power around you. I did not know the name of that power when I was young. When I was a kid, I always felt her around me. Whenever I used to cry or something, I used to feel like there was a hand on my head, like consoling me. And also, I always had a lap to sleep on. And then later on in life, I think 2 years or 2.5 years ago, I got to realize that it was none other than Goddess Kali. And since that day, I'm
yeah.
totally attached to her and I'm working with her, and she's supremely lovable. I don't know what to say about her, but yes, I love her.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I have seen that people don't realize it, but whom you worship is also because you feel a certain part of their energies. I
Yeah,
started with goddess Kali, and I still connect with the most. I mean, I connect to the more wild form of goddesses, or like the power of the nature that I feel.
yeah, the dark
Like I
feminine
am,
type.
and your second house. Yeah, and your second house plays a very important role in what goddess or god should you pray.
Okay.
So like my second house is all Mars rule. My Mars is in my second house in its own sign. I
Okay.
have always been very power driven. Wherever I did when I was I guess I would call myself very dominating, but in a very positive way. People have considered dominating or domination as
Yeah.
like the kind of they don't really understand it well. It's domination comes with protection as a responsibility. I do that,
Yeah.
so I
Correct
am
me
very
if I'm
dominating. I have
wrong,
seen,
you
and maybe
might
that's
not be dominating, rather than you might be a little manipulative instead. I think so.
uh,
You
no,
like to take
manipulative is actually a.
responsibility, you like to take charge of things.
So manipulative is a very different word here. Manipulative does represents that somebody trying to just convince you otherwise of what you have been thinking. Not manipulative, actually dominating, I mean, and in a very positive way.
Yeah, yeah.
Dominating in terms of protection, what I call. Yeah.
Okay.
Manipulation is very different. I can be a very good manipulator, I know. But if your moon is strong, and specifically Cancerians, their moon is
Yeah.
most of the yeah, most of the cases it doesn't have to be that, but the moon is generally strong. know, you will see that they can't manipulate, or they don't really manipulate as such. If your moon is afflicted, you are a very dark manipulator.
Yeah.
But if it's not, you can manipulate people in thinking the most positive aspects of life. So that is one thing. It depends how you manipulate. But I wouldn't deny that I can do that. I'm a Libra rising basically. I talk. The only thing that I earn money is by talking. Believe me when I say that. So
Yeah.
I talk, but I won't say that I that I manipulate. I mean, if you are, I talk convincingly, I would say rather.
Okay. Your throat chakra is your like power. Your
Yeah,
communication is your
and
power.
very strongly. I'll tell you why. First thing I felt, since I was young, I felt very strong connection with Egypt. And what happened is that Egypt, very few people know. I mean, the chakras of the earth. Egypt is the throat chakra of the earth,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Now, I am a
Okay,
five
that's
ruled
news to me
person.
as well.
And so I am a very five ruled person, right? I am a very five ruled person in terms of I'm a five ruled person by date of birth. My Mercury dasha is going on, and my entire date of birth sums up to five as well. I'm very, very strongly five ruled. So communication plays a very important role in my life. And that, for example, maybe we'll talk about it a little later, but the dashas play a very important role. Maybe you will have Raj yogs in your chart, but if your dasha is not activated, and some people don't have it, you won't be able to. For example, my ninth house is very active. Now, ninth house in astrology represents foreign lands, higher education, etc. The moment I entered a foreign land, and I had with no idea what I'm going to do here. I mean, I did came for my obviously studies, but I had the business on my mind. When I came here, and I started from the scratch. Now I don't want to like display the entire amount or anything, but I am living pretty well, started a company, people working under me and everything.
Yeah.
All that happened within the expense of less than 8 months. I am meeting very, very rich people, very elite people. I have meetings in London. I have to move and travel a lot, basically.
Yeah.
They send me obviously the entire and everything. So that is one thing. And my ninth house got activated the moment I traveled to foreign lands. This is how the astrology works. And the people who say astrology is a myth and all, it's a pseudoscience. Astrology is a proper science. It
Yeah.
represents physics. It represents the astronomy, etc. So it is a proper science.
Yeah. So there are two kinds of I don't know much about astrology. I'm so sorry, but I know pretty well about the card readings. So there are two kinds of readers, one who seek the spiritual side of it and one who seek the scientific side of it. So which side are you on?
Mhm. I guess both of it. I feel like a good reader is one who actually balances between the two.
Yeah.
I kind of mm, I am both. And I don't know how scientifically can you kind of consider tarot. Tarot is anyway, how would I say?
Yeah, I
It's
think
just tarot is
Carl Jung
anyway a balance.
Carl Jung explained it in terms of synchronicity. So that's the thing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So you might be seeing that today a lot of tarot readers are rising. A lot, like literally a lot.
A lot.
You cannot even count
Mhm.
them now. So what do you think? Like what's your take on this? Do you think that it's a good thing that spirituality is spreading, or do you think that it is going on a negative side and it is just becoming a business?
To be honest, both. I am seeing a lot of people realizing their talent and everything and kind of coming out as leaders. Back then, when I started doing it, there were very few people who actually did, who did astrology and tarot and everything. Astrology was only confined to a very small group of people, who
Yeah.
they were considered to as pundits and all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
People had just confined it to a particular. I actually learned tarot from Jenny, the guidance angel. I guess I have to see her tarot page right now, but she taught me tarot, and she's a very good teacher. So I came from there, and at that time, nobody really started. I didn't start it for years. I was very much focused on astrology. Tarot as a like professionally taking tarot, I didn't want it to as such maybe back then because there was not as such craze. But when I started, even after learning 2 years after I learned it, still there were not a lot of people.
Yeah.
Now every other person knows about it, and I don't know how. Now people have also started it for making money only. Now that is
Yeah.
something that is I don't like it. I did tarot
Mhm.
because I was very, very happy about it,
Yeah.
and I was excited about it. And I did astrology, and I did numerology and everything, and astrocartography, Western astrology, which is tropical astrology basically,
Yeah.
everything. And these days I have seen tarot readers, not everyone, believe me, still a very small proportion. I feel like maybe, tarot, monetizing tarot is also a good thing. You are living in a world where you need to have a source of income, a side source of income, and that's great. But only doing tarot for money is not right, I guess. You need to be a little spiritual for the same. And you will see, there's also one thing: the more spiritual you are, the more how would I say, the more perfect your readings and predictions are. The more
Exactly.
the less spiritual you are and only doing it for money and that purpose, I don't see that coming in
I
with
totally
the
agree.
money thing. So that's completely,
Yeah.
so that's
You
more like, and people are gonna decide anyway.
Yeah, they have named it as a myth. It is like when they are teaching in their programs, in their tarot programs, they literally say this: it's a myth that you have to be spiritual in order to do tarot readings. And I'm like, how do you suppose those cards to give you an answer? They are just piece of papers if you are not a spiritual person. So how do you expect them to give answers to you
True.
without being spiritual? So I don't know what is happening. uh,
So,
I would like to ask you a personal
hmm,
question. Do you remember how much
hmm,
did you pay to your tarot teacher?
I did 4,500, I guess,
Right. I
back
also
then.
spent nearly the same amount. But today you won't believe it. The basic, this was the recent thing that I saw.
Hmm,
I don't know about
hmm,
the rest. I'm just telling about this to you about one particular tarot reader. I saw her course
hmm,
divided into three parts. Earlier, the
right.
same course that was for 4,500 included everything, right? All the aspects of tarot.
Hmm,
But today they have divided into three parts, and each part
right.
is of around 12 to 13,000. Can you believe it?
I can actually. I mean, what I have realized it when I monetized all the things is that if you got the value for that, and if you are providing the value, then it's fine. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Although for tarot, even I wouldn't really as such charge that. But if you are providing the value, it's fine. And people are going to, like, people have this sixth sense that they can have that idea that, okay, she can provide me the value for 12,000. So I'll just go with it unless and until you are too much a newbie, obviously, then you wouldn't. And I feel like tarot, people go in tarot or learning tarot only when they have a little bit experience of how it works. So they do understand that this is a good reader. Even if you pay her this amount, she's going to kind of teach her everything and all. So I do see that. And I'll tell you something. I've seen, and it might sound not wrong, but it might sound a little bit, um how would I say, it can be harsh, but less than 1% of the tarot readers make a proper money. I don't know. I mean, if you ask a tarot reader right now, can you make a living out of it?
Yeah.
Not even in London, places like London or UK where I live, but wherever they are, they won't be able to make money out of for living. People do not do that. They are generally, or I should not say that, but most of them are for the free readings. Not everyone, obviously, but most of them, I would say. And um, making it a wide thing, very few people are able to do it. So if they are charging and people are paying them, then it's great, it's fine. I mean, that's completely on them. But I don't think that a lot of people pay for the same thing. I mean, if I start something now and for example, I have a lot of difference between what I charge people in India and what I charge here. It's very different also between people I charge in UK to the businessmen that I do. because then I have to basically divide it into a sum that, okay, if you make a profit of, let's say, 1 million, and I want a particular percent of it. So
Yeah.
we make this type of pacts with the
Okay.
businessman. But I can't ask normal person to pay me 20,000 or 20 lakh in normal amounts. That would be too much for them.
Yeah, it's
20 lakh
like
nobody can
12.
even expect in India to kind of charge.
Yeah, it's like 12 into 3, 36,000 for one course. And I also remember that for one
Yeah.
more course, I asked for the price and it was around 65,000. And I was like,
Mm,
what? 65,000? I mean, a teacher plays a very
mm,
important role in a person's life. And if
true.
a teacher starts charging so much that they go beyond our reach,
True.
it will all become useless.
It's
I
not
feel
right.
that way.
Exactly. So that's the thing. That's what I do. That's what I ask people to do. That you need to charge people according to the amount that they can pay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that there are obviously some people have energy limits. Obviously, I mean, for example, I for one in-depth question charge 500 rupees. The beginners charge 55 rupees per question. That's completely a different topic. But if, let's say, you're charging 65,000, and if there are people paying it, great. If somebody is not able to pay, obviously, then you have, like, some people, obviously, they kind of just want to teach 2 or 3 people. If 2 or 3 people pay them 65,000, great, their home is running and all. That's a good thing. I mean, it depends who that is. I'll ask about it in the DM, basically. But I mean, I wouldn't say it's wrong. I wouldn't say it's right. It's somewhere in between. I'm no one to judge, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I charge a lot, but I depend who you are. If I charge a farmer here, I wouldn't go to charging him 20 lakhs. He can't pay that.
Yeah.
But a businessman can very easily. I mean, I, I don't want to say the amount, but I have charged a bomb to a lot of people. But they were businessmen. They are earning
Yeah.
that.
They
They can
can pay
pay
so
that
much.
value.
Yeah.
So that's why.
No,
So about the
because
course.
yeah,
Hmm.
no, because when you go down into the history of witchcraft, you'll find times where, like not witchcraft, but yeah, when you talk about spirituality and everything, when you go back into times, there were times when
Hmm.
actually these practitioners, there were only one or two practitioner in an entire society, and they used to
Yeah.
be literally worshipped by the entire society for helping them, for providing them
Hmm.
remedies and everything, for forecasting
Yeah.
everything for them, and they were literally worshipped by the society. And today when I'm seeing everything turning into just about business and money, it really upsets me sometimes, but then it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I do understand. The thing is that um, you cannot live with it as well. We live without it as well. Yes, everything with money is something that I do not would advertise, but money is an important part of the society right now.
Yeah.
Previously, it was not.
Yeah.
And you have to pay for your expenses and everything, but still I feel very few people are able to kind of live their life through astrology and everything. I don't think that people are able to. Either you are a very good or great astrologer, which is less than 1% of the population of the tarot readers and astrologers, that you are actually asking for 20,000, 30,000 lakhs and you are being paid. I am happy and blessed to have been doing that, and I'm getting that amount of money and everything. But that's what I want to do. I want to, for example, that the program or what the website that I'm making, I want to kind of monetize it and ask the people to join it, all the readers I'm going to provide for the jobs and opportunities, so that they know that only the very highly qualified ones who actually want to help people,
Yeah.
not just money. And I would really want to do that, and I'm hiding a lot of people basically. And 10 years or 5 years back, if you talked about being hired by a astrological association and all, people wouldn't believe that. Astro
Yeah.
Sage, Astro, um, I guess Astro something as, I
Has
don't
to talk.
remember the name. Astro Talk. Yeah, they do that. I mean, I had been offered from them as well. I said, no, I can't. I'm starting my own. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, that that's
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, please do consider me
Hmm.
as well. I'm more into oracle card readings rather than tarot readings. So please do
Right.
consider me as well.
Hmm.
Okay,
For
so
sure, for sure.
I prepared some rapid fire questions for you. Very few
Right.
questions, right?
Okay. No, no,
Should I
not a
shoot?
problem. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, your favorite incense flavor?
My favorite incense flavor, it would be I don't know, people know about sage. Sage is actually a flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's a proper incense sage. I mean, it doesn't, it depends actually. Some, I would like, I don't really prefer floral ones. I rather prefer more deeper ones like the forest woods and everything. So that would be one thing.
Okay, your favorite essential oil?
Essential oil, again, the flavor I'll tell. I do sell essential oil as well, so I know. It's
Okay.
one of the, it's rosemary, not rose, rosemary actually.
Okay, yeah, I know that. It smells good.
Yeah.
Your favorite
Yeah.
season?
My favorite season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So to be honest, I belong from northern part of India, so I don't know why people say that, but summers had been my favorite ever since. Here in UK, I would say winter because it's snowing and everything, and I love being cozy all over the fairy lights going on and all. So it depends where I am, but here it's winter.
Okay. Your favorite moon phase?
Full moon and I guess the waning gibbous moon because that's when I was born.
Okay. That's a personal bias. Your favorite archangel?
Yeah, completely. Archangel Michael. I am ruled by Archangel Michael. I don't even have to think a second before answering this.
Yeah,
Completely, Archangel
I
Michael,
think
and I
most
feel
of the people
the
are
most connected.
like Archangel
Yeah.
Michael, but I like Archangel Haniel a lot because she's associated with moon, so I like her a lot. Your favorite deck?
It's obviously depends.
Yeah.
My favorite deck.
Yeah.
I would say so. The very first one is obviously the normal tarot deck. I really love. Second is the angel answers, if I'm not wrong, the yellow one, angel answers. It gives me the best answers. I most of the times if I have to leave and it's early in the morning and I have to go and I have to travel, and to one of my clients, the very first question I ask is it going to go great, and it's just yes, no, or anything that comes up. So yeah, I guess archangel ones, the angel answer one. Sorry.
Okay. Which form of
Hmm.
magic do you use the most?
Magic, as in what form of magic? I
Like
mean, I want the
sigil
elaboration.
magic, manifestation, candle magic, puppet magic. There are so many kinds of magic.
I love candle magic. Believe me when I say it, specifically with the essence candles, like proper those ones, the scented ones. Second, manifestation is, I guess, I'm very strong. I think a lot. I vision. I like my vision board is something that I keep very close to me. I literally achieved everything that I had on my vision board. Last year when I made it, I didn't knew I would be landing up here, having my business, everything that I did. So that is one thing. So manifestation, what we call it, but also kind of write down anything that you want to manifest. It has the highest chances of getting answered or getting fulfilled. That is one thing I have seen.
Yeah, I think one more thing works. You can write a letter to the moon. That has worked for me. That has worked wonders for me.
It's a good idea. I never really thought about it. I used to write down the letter to my higher self,
Yeah.
not to the moon that I ever thought, but I would. That's a very good idea. Yeah. For sure.
Okay, so the next question is, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book.
Yeah.
it's like I have lived in phases. So while I was very young, I used to love Charles Dickens, and my very first novel that I completed was Great Expectations. It was a very small book or novel. I don't really remember. So that was one thing. I was very happy. I loved Tale of Two Cities. After that, there's something happened to me, and I became spiritual. So I started reading Bhagavad Gita. I read the Purans, the English version,
Hmm.
the Ramayana. I would say you don't really have to go to any other books if you got all these things. And I want everyone to kind of go through it at least once in life, at least nothing than Bhagavad Gita. And
Yeah,
it's irrespective of what religion you follow. It's
that's
it's a must go to book. Yeah, I mean China has Bhagavad Gita in their curriculum. Why can't we have that? So that is one thing I would really ask everyone to do. I still have, I guess, my Bhagavad Gita kept here itself. I
yeah.
always kind of refer to it.
Even I
So
read
yes,
Bhagavad
Bhagavad Gita.
Gita, and I feel like there are a lot of, encoded messages in it. If you are really lucky enough to decipher it, then
Completely.
you are really lucky.
It's great for you.
Yeah. So what
Yeah,
advice will you give?
and apart from that, I all the money related books.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I'll just continue.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, so apart from that, I guess self-help books, all of it. I mean, most of it. I want everyone to kind of read it. Right now, we all really need it. All the money-based book as well, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and all those things. All I combine it all basically. I do both of it.
Okay. So what advice will you give to your younger self?
That I am going to make it. Like she is going to make it. It depends which younger self I have to give the advice, but
Hmm?
I always kind of, whenever I am doing something, I always think about my 13 years old self because that was one point I promised that I'm gonna make herself proud and everything. So I guess I would have to make her proud, and I feel that she would be. But I want her to understand the fact that it's fine to have changes, and I had been through bullies while I was young, specifically for the looks and everything. I have completely changed as a person, but yeah, that was one thing I really want her to know, that it's gonna be fine and things work out for you much better than you expect it to be.
Yeah. Your shadow side that you're actually happy about.
Shadow side that I am actually like, it's like, mm, okay, that's weird. Maybe people would relate, and that's very weird. Maybe because we have romanticized so much pain, all these songs and everything, and it's very weird. I had my, I don't know, heartbreak. I should talk about it, but maybe a year back, 2 years back, I was at one point, and I don't know why, but I wanted to be in that sadness or in that pain, specifically because I related to a lot of songs. That is something, yeah, that's very weird. And I cried as well. And I
Yeah,
realized that's what I'm doing is not at all needed. So I just kind
I've
of
done
stopped
that
it. But
too.
I guess that is one thing
I've
I'm
done that
very
too.
guilty
I've
about
made
it.
myself cry. I put on those sad songs and cried and cried and cried. And as soon as the songs used to stop, I used to stop crying, and then I used to search for another cry baby song, and then I used to play it and again
Yeah.
cry. Yeah, we all do that.
Yeah, so that is one thing I guess I did. I'm not guilty about it, to be honest. I mean, it's fine. We all should have that one phase of life. We need to learn love. Now I am living with the love of my life, so I'm very happy. But that point it was required. Even right now, at times I want to play those songs, but they don't really matter to me anymore.
Yeah. So after having a conversation with you, I think this question is literally useless, moon or the sun. I think I know the answer.
The moon.
Yeah, of course. Stars or
Yeah,
the
I'm so
moon?
sorry for the noise. That's it. The questions.
No, stars or the moon?
Oh, the stars on the moon. Um, to be honest, both. You know why? Because I love seeing or watching constellations.
Yeah.
So both, actually both. But moon obviously above everything.
Yeah. Your favorite deity?
My favorite. I told you it's either Mahakali, which is the feminine energy, or Rudra, the masculine. Not even or, I would say and Rudra, the masculine energy. So both Mahakali and Rudra.
Okay, last two questions. Your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? So I don't know why it's very weird, but I like cows. I love cows. I want to pet a lot of cows. I don't know why. I love
Yeah, they are
cows.
cute.
People and people are just always asking cat or a dog person. I'm not either a cat or a dog person. I mean, dogs are much better than cats, to be honest.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah, they are,
But
definitely. You know, my dog is sitting
but
right here
I guess
throughout the interview.
where
Here. Teddy.
is there?
Yeah.
Hi.
He had been sitting here throughout the interview and is listening to me.
Dogs are really good to be petting. I mean, I have this weird statement. It might kind of hurt people, but cat people, I don't know. I fear cat people. Dog people are my favorite,
I know.
and I am the cow person. I am the cow person. I would rather pet a cow, and I
Yeah,
really love it.
I read somewhere that people who don't like cat are the people who don't like having boundaries or who don't know how to take dominance. They don't like cats. I don't
Really,
know
I
how
mean,
far
maybe.
that's true. Maybe I don't
I
like
guess it
cats
is.
either. Means I like them, but not that much. I had a cat pet, but
Yeah.
no. So last question, your favorite bird?
Good for us.
Yeah.
My favorite bird. It has to be. I like all the birds. It's not just one actually, but if still I have to choose, I'll obviously go for the swans.
Oh, so I never thought about it, to be honest. People are always like eagles, sparrows, this, that. I never thought about swans.
Yeah, I just float on water. That's it. I don't want to do anything else.
You might be connected to mermaid energies as well since you're a water sign.
Very strong, very, very, very strongly. I feel like I'm
Maybe.
more connected to the Egyptian um civilization or the past life if we talk about it. But mermaids are also very, I mean, I am very connected to not just mermaid, but the Atlantis theory and everything, because I know it did existed when the
Yeah,
seven
it
lands
did.
existed.
And
But
I think Dwarka, the lost city of Dwarka and the lost city of Atlantis are both the same.
they either be the same or they might be different, but they had the same civilization, that is for sure.
Yeah, that's true. I am also connected to mermaids, and I don't know why, but we share so much in common, like the goddess Kali part, then the
Yeah,
moon part, then the Cancerian part, then the mermaids part. I really liked having this conversation with you. And to be honest, you are really sweet enough to spare your time and spend time here talking to me, giving this interview. Thank you so much. Because some people like literally saw my message and they did not
very true.
even care enough to reply, and I hated it. I
Yeah,
literally hated it. Some of them were really sweet. They politely denied, which was fine. I respect everybody's boundaries. But
mhm.
not replying was like, it really got on my nerves. I hated it so much when people saw my message and they did not reply. I hated it.
I know, I do understand that completely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's
So,
end this conversation for today, and I'll
yeah,
try to find the recordings. If I'm able
I
to,
will.
I'll send
Mhm.
it to you.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
we
sure,
can do
sure, sure.
the uh, other questions and everything tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever you want. I'm always
For
free.
sure, for sure. We'll just kind of discuss it. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, bye bye. Good night. Oh,
Okay.
I don't know if it's
Bye.
night at your place. It's night at mine.
It's not actually. It's not.
Okay, it's night at my place. It's
It's,
11:25. So yeah.
it's 7 here actually, but even if it's 10 here, it's the same. It doesn't The sunset doesn't set till it's 10 or 11 in the night. So
Oh, wow. Okay, good to meet you. It was really lovely having this session with you. Thank you so much for joining in. Bye bye.
bye. Bye.